This short lesson is based on episode 6 of Community Sanctorum History of the Christian Church, titled BOGO, which is an acronym for Buy One, Get One Free. That episode took a look at the emerging challenge Gnosticism presented the early church. Gnosticism is an umbrella term that modern historians use for a spectrum of religious movements sharing some common features. Generally speaking, Gnosticism was a mashup of Greek philosophy, Eastern mystery cults, some Jewish law, and Christian terminology. It was based on the dualism of Greek philosophy that regarded the entire material realm as inherently and unalterably evil, while the spiritual realm was equally good and holy. From Eastern mystery cults came the idea that secret rituals and passwords would gain access to ever-increasing levels of enlightenment, which was the Gnostic form of salvation. All that was wrapped in the terminology of a new and popular, though officially disfavored movement, Christianity. Now, as I shared in episode 6, Gnosticism presented a challenge to Christianity because it appealed to things that were buried deeply in the human soul. Ancient promoters of Gnosticism were adept marketers. They took a little from here, a little from there, a bit more from over yonder, put it all in a bowl and made a kind of religious salad. Then they applied the coup de grace, the dressing of Christian terminology. They took the words of orthodoxy and poured different meanings into them. Words like salvation, the gospel, even Jesus. They shared the Christian vocabulary, but not the same dictionary. We are watching the past repeat itself in our time. Gnosticism isn't being revived, but the trick of its promoters is in a theological and sociological swing called progressive Christianity. Progressive Christianity is neither progressive nor Christian. It's nothing but a reheated version of the 19th century's theological liberalism that gutted mainline denominations, emptied churches, and turned cathedrals into museums and breweries. But progressivism draws people in because it's well marketed. It's appealing on a number of fronts. It accepts the secular worldview that now dominates our culture. It clings to the unshakable inner sense that there's more to life than just biology. There has to be some larger purpose and meaning to our being here. But it aligns with the world's morality by adopting the idea that the evolution of humanity can only take place when we all go along to get along. And then it wraps all of that in the words that the church has used for 2,000 years. As with the ancient Gnostics, the vocabulary of progressivism is the same as classic evangelicalism, but its dictionary is different. I remember hearing an interesting discussion on the radio some years ago. The Pope was visiting the United States. A group of liberal Catholics had petitioned to meet with him to formally declare their belief that the Roman Church needed to ordain women as priests. One of the representatives was on the radio in a discussion. The other person was a conservative priest, stating his opposition to the ordination of women priests. The advocate for ordination based his position on the contention that the church needed to adapt to the times and accommodate modern societal norms and values. Though he didn't use these words, his position was, you got to get with the times, buddy. Now, while I don't go along with the whole Roman Catholic idea of a specially sanctioned priesthood, I cheered the conservative priest's reply. He said that the church is not called to get with the times. It's to safeguard and promote the faith once for all delivered to the saints. It's called to hold fast to those things that the church has always taught, not bow to the pressure of the ever-changing fads and fashions of this world. And to that, I say amen. God doesn't change. How could he and remain perfect? If God doesn't change, then issues of faith can't change either. Morality can't change because it's not based on human preference or societal norms. It's based on the nature and the character of God as creator. What Christians believe today has to sync up with what they believed since the earliest days of the church. Progressive Christianity is errant on its surface in that it regards itself as, well, progressive. It's moved on from what Christianity was to something other, and that other is decidedly not biblical, historical Christianity. Friends, be on guard against teachers who confidently assert they found reasons to set aside what Christians have always believed and come up with new interpretations of the Bible and belief that conveniently align with this fallen world. As James says in verse 4 of chapter 4 of his letter, do you not know that friendship with the world is enmity with God? Whoever therefore wants to be a friend of the world makes himself an enemy of God.